Hello, hello. We have a T4 or T5, sorry, match between two Fable teams, Galaxia and Supernova. You have Pancake here on the main broadcast, and then Pillow as our prod and color commentator.
Hello, everybody.
And we are looking for a great game today. Just getting about started here, and hopefully it's a good one. Two great teams. T5's always a barn burner. What's your thoughts about this matchup?
Right, there's been a couple of interesting things. First thing I want to cover, we've got some interesting picks in terms of favorite heroes from both of these teams. Galaxia having notably the Roadhog and the double Lucio. Not obviously this isn't going to be what they're going to be running, but it can be some hint as to like their preferred play style and what they enjoy and feel comfortable on. So we see the double Lucio to start with. We see that Roadhog maybe looking for some sort of brawl here, especially with that Reaper. So yeah, I think it could be something pretty interesting there. But on the side of Fable Supernova, we see a bit of a different story. That traditional on a brig backline, really solid for those dive comps with BT, who I believe goes by Hello, on that tracer. So we could see some interesting choices here in terms of what they actually choose to play, but regardless, I believe there's nothing more we can do except just wait to get into it. But I'm pretty excited to see what ends up happening here.
And I am fairly certain that Frostburn has a very good ball, and that is definitely something that you tend to see on the Oasis. So maybe you end up seeing like a bowl on a brig, trying to get that on a brig onto the high ground of all these different maps. Then an Elite Zero on the side of Galaxia. They have a good Freya. I also prefer that character. And it does look like we are going in here.
All right.
For game one.
A couple things to note here. Starting on Oasis, we started with Galaxia to have the initial ban. Galaxia choosing to ban that Junker Queen. Pretty interesting pick there from them. Definitely looking to just perhaps go more into a brawl comp that favors them a little more. Queen, honestly, I don't think is too strong in the current meta. But following up with the Tracer ban there, it looks like they are going on to the Xion. Newer character, obviously, high burst damage there, a lot of just big damage coming from the side of Supernova. You're going to have to be very carefully positioned if you are on the side of Galaxia, so this is something we're going to be having to pay attention to pretty well. But with that Lucio, they definitely can position themselves clearly.
Both teams sim TPing out. We do have a Mizuki on the side of Supernova, where you'll wonder if they want to keep that going into a Zarya comp. BT going low, having to back up. They try to take the middle area, take a bit of the space. Sin burning that Zarya. They look to try to pressure out, but they gain a lot of charge. And Frostburn's off the map. Fortunate use of boosters from him. Shadow SB with a great move. BT going low. Supernova trying to kite out after their tank goes down. Looks like they are going to do it, but do concede the point. Zay going low. Zay getting staggered. Just getting hit by a grenade from the side of Truth. Sin also going down. Xion maybe proving an issue. all the burst damage. Frostburn going in, trying to get that poke damage, but going low. Sin swapping over to that Bastion.
Right, we do see the Bastion swap here. I think that makes a lot of sense. We were talking about that burst damage. This is just going to bring that higher and a little bit more aligned with just breaking down those Zarya bubbles. So definitely going to have to just try and beat out that Zarya here. Make that advantage a little bit more favorable.
He almost moved off the map, but still has dash. Shadow trying to boot the D.Va away. Does get out. Sin getting chunked health, but pick Shadow. Very good pick from the side of Sin. Frostburn trying to take that space against the D.Va, burning those bubbles. Zando going down, Creep and E0 follow. And that's gonna be a fight win for Supernova.
Right, they do get the fight win there, but it's not looking great. You're not that much up in ults. You do have those two that are already online, but the enemy team is so close to everything, and they already have 58% on point.
Wonder here if you see a Kitsune to Kitsune match. And then maybe then you throw the draft down, try to get a pick that way. D.Va forcing out Elite Zero. Shadow getting chunked close to that beat. That could be a real help in this fight. Kitsune goes down, so does the overclock, but Truth getting taken down here. E0 going down, Mizuki ult as well. He's going down. They've popped all 5 ults here. Will this be able to turn the fight for them? Truth going low. D.Va getting chunked down. No support for the side of Galaxia. And it looks like this is going to be a fight win for Supernova. Even though Galaxia pops all 5 ults.
Right, that's really what you don't want to see there. This is worst case scenario. Now you're in a bad position. They're getting that lead, and they've got 2 more ults that you don't have any answers to.
Shadow SB trying to force out the Bastion on the height. Does force out that form, and he gets booped off. Flew a little too close to the sun there. Frostbird going down into baby form.
Watch yourself out there.
And even with that ult advantage, a good boop, second boop of the game from SB, allows them to win that fight pretty handedly. But you do have Zay with this Kitsune here that could put this first sub point away. They use it well.
Right, 100%. They've got those 3 unmatched ults, but we need to go a little quickly. Shadow coming up close to that beat.
Sin burning those Zarya bubbles. Frostburn forcing off that Emery along the height there. Sin topping the Bastion ult. Truth goes down. Imperial down. 2 dead. 4 Galaxia, 3 down. Just as Zarya left. And that's gonna be a sub-point win for Supernova.
Right, really solid job there from the side of Supernova. They played to their win conditions. They did a really solid job of just kind of making that Zarya irrelevant in the fight. Their rotations were super good, and they found those targets that they needed to.
Ooh, it's true. Swapping over to the Soldier.
Watch your flanks. They might try something.
You gotta wonder, Soldier is a very good ranked pick and can be very good on console. So if Truth is console, could this be what they need to turn it around? Frostburn also swapping over to that Ball. But Ball really missing that Tracer.
Right, 100%. The Tracer been pulling up a lot here.
Sin trying to find an angle in this backside. Zarya goes down to half. Xion forcing that point. Frostburn looking for a slam. Zarya drops down, forces the carry down with them. He almost gets boofed off the map. Oh, chunking that Zarya, but gets low themselves. Goes to peel for that backline. Shion's one shot goes down. But Sin also goes down. Both of these 2 DPS down. He's going low. Zay forces the TP out. Goes low, but this fight's still going. Frostburn going low. And that's gonna be a fight win for Galaxia.
Right, it was a fight win, but we do see a couple things here. First off, Supernova a little bit closer to those ults. Already at 83% onto those mines, 74% to the artillery strike.
You would wonder if maybe Shadow wants to go quick with Beat here before Supernova gets any ults. Frostburn going down early. Same with BT. And Supernova is just gonna have to back up and reset.
Right, once again, that's not what you want to see. This gives them time to build those ults back up. The longer that this takes, the more that they're going to have the advantage, because you did swap over to the Alari. They're going to have the ult advantage regardless.
Frostburn swapping over to that Diva. Worked well the first round. Ball didn't seem to be working. Frostburn trying to force point, can't seem to find anything. Zarya going low. Calls the burn. Beat coming out to save Zarya. Xanadu goes down. Both tiers down. Pops the Shion ult, but gets low. Keep out of mech. Sin going down. Frostburn down. GT down. And that's another win for Galaxia. And we'll see if Supernova can get another good fight in. Renadode with the Kyriel. Also almost have Kyriel from the side of Galaxia. Ilario goes down, both Kyriels down. Shion down, and that's gonna be a cleanup for Galaxia. And we look like we're going to a .3 here.
Right, really solid adaptation there, just kind of sitting on that point, getting that high ground. This is probably a point more favored towards that comp regardless. Just kind of being able to chill up there and have that pressure. Really helpful for that point.
Yeah. And you wonder what changes, if any, Supernova will need to make. Whether they want to try the ball again or just stick with the Diva that worked round one.
Right, notably we saw the swap over to Alare for that second point. We see the swap back over to Mizuki here. So that's a swap I can agree with. It's a little difficult to try and play the Alare Kiri backline here.
Especially with this Diva playing into a Zarya. They do need a lot of care. We'll see if that Mizuki is what they need here. Frostburn challenging that height, but without someone up there with them, can't take too much space. They boop the Lucio off. Trying to find any sort of pick here. Forcing point for the Diva. Going low though. Side of peel. BT going down. Elite Zero, and so does Frostburn in that mech. Supernova is just gonna peel out here. Galaxia takes that fight pretty handedly. And I think that fight came down to Galaxia just securing that height a lot quicker than Supernova could handle.
Right, notably Supernova not choosing to TP out of spawn with Sim, so their rotation was slower. Just not quite able to get there in time.
Ooh, Shadow going low from that overclock does get the care. And we are swapping over to a Zarya Mariner. Maybe that's what they need. Elite Zero, half HP, getting ran up by the Zarya. But Frostburn going low gets Suzu'd out. Sin behind Azaria, trying to find something he can do. Shadow gets overextended, going down. So does both the Xion. Imperial's on point, Frostburn goes down. They flip map, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be enough. Even with that opening pick. Just a really good Kitsune and Visor.
Alright, 100%. I think the biggest thing there, we don't have the matching Lucio, the Mizuki, just a little bit worse into the Zarya mirror.
Yeah. It's a little tough. That Zarya really wants the speed. The Mizuki out to match the grab. Sin and Lily going down. He's going down as well. Will they be able to stay stable enough to win the 3v4? They're going to try to do so. DT trying to get that flank. Frostburn going on the carry. Both carries down. Xion going low. Just the Zarya left. Goes down. Sin with the OC. Match with the B. Sin going down. And that's going to be the map. Just a barn burner in the last fight, don't you think?
100%. Super solid play from both teams there. Maybe just a little bit more strategic ult usage from the side of Galaxia. Gonna put them up 1 in the series.
And if you're on the side of Supernova, you gotta be thinking, like, what did you do well in that point 1 that you could maybe try to recreate going into the second map?
100%. Speaking of the second map, we will be right back as soon as we're ready for it.
Hello, hello, welcome to map 2. Supernova has picked Numbani and has banned Kiri. Maybe having an issue with Isuzus, especially if they're going to be playing ball here. Well, Galaxia banned Diva, which I guess they didn't want Frostburn to play Diva again. Go to the map, and we do have Ana on both sides, Sin on the Tracer, double flex backline with that ball. Ana Wuyang. On the other side, we do have a cat, which will be fun. As well as a Hazard, Emery, Xion, and Ana. This is one of the best Ana maps in the game, so I don't blame both teams wanting to run them. Shadow actually baiting me, making the swap over to Brig. Another great Ana Brig map. Looks like we're gonna see the Hazard here.
Right. Notably,
Sin going low early, trying to go Ana. On the flank onto E0, gets them low. But Brig and Ana peel for them. Sin trying to set up down main. Xion going low against the Hazard. Goes down. Unfortunate early pick for Supernova.
right, this comp here from the side of Galaxia gonna be a little difficult. That Brig's gonna pull off wonders against this super aggressive front line that we see from Supernova.
Sin goes down there. Supernova is going to have to get their back line pretty set up early here. They need to try to set their Ana Wuyang top left before they do anything. But it doesn't seem like they're trying to help them much. Sin making that swap over to the Ash, maybe to help that back line reach the height a little bit easier. Reef, half HP, BT goes down, Shadow goes down. Ana going low, also going down. Hazard down, Frostburn trying to get that Mega on the backside. Goes of course, right, oops, the Emery. Ana going low. Lead 0 going down, and that's gonna force a reset. Galaxia. Great pick from Frostburn, seeing that low HP Ana. Trying to keep the advantage going, but no follow-up from anyone else. And that's going to be a point take for Supernova.
Right, we saw that quick adaptation from them there. That front line just a little too aggressive for the comp they're trying to play into, so they make those swaps. Notably, that does cause them a bit of ult charge, which leaves them at a disadvantage. So actually having basically all 5 here.
Yeah. Wondering if you maybe want to combo that Xion ult with Hazard ult. Hazard ult actually coming down. He does go half. There goes the Xion ult, just like I said. Elite Hero getting half. Frostburn nanoed. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be enough as everyone dies around Frostburn. Does look like he is able to get out and hopefully live that stagger. Both sides using 2 ults there. Maybe you see a Nano Emery from the side of Galaxia. Swap coming out, but BT going down at the same time, and you do see that Nano Emery. He is half. Maybe Sin's able to get this pick. He does, but gets traded out for it. Sin's Bob also going down here. And Frostburn try to find this pick. Real coming out. Both supports low. Spring going down. that is going to be fight win for Supernova, forcing out almost all of their ults, and already built almost back up to mines in one fight.
Right, just building ult super quickly here. We're also pretty close to that nano. We do need to watch out, notably here for the rally from Shadow.
Ball slept. Shadow does go down with the rally, the only ult that they have. BT also going down though. Window going down. Hazard on point, the last line of defense for Galaxia does take out Sin. Goes down for it, gets traded out. Crossburn with the mines on point, does he decide to use it? He's trying to fully secure this point. He does. Rally coming out. Mine still on point. Nano going out. It's on the Wuyong. All going down. Elite Zero also going down. They trying to stay alive against the Hazard, but can't. And also going down. And when it seems like Supernova not a winner, just couldn't find a way to secure it.
Right, great base defense there, and that's going to give them a big ult advantage. 3, almost 4 ults here. Probably going to see something similar to that Nano Liang, but we do need to worry about the Sierra now from Sin. That tracking guard could ruin your day.
Half HP, trying to fight off the Leon. Or the Hazard. Leon coming out. Elite Zero getting one shot. Goes down. 2 members of Galaxia going down at the same time. Onyx still on height. Gets slammed though. And that's going to be the .2 cap for Supernova.
Right, we see this off over to the Zara.
See the Zara swap here. Hopefully can farm some of that ult or that charge off of the Xion. Crossbane going low. Does get care in the back though. Back up to mines and Nano once again soon. Xion hard peels for the ball. Goes low but can't quite go down yet. Zarya alone in the room. It looks like Supernova is just kind of sitting point for free here. But as I say that, BT goes down, mines go down. But as mines go down, the rest of his team around him falls.
Right, 100%. This comp, the Zarya comp, really gonna play to punish that ball a lot more. And with the lack of high ground on this third point, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to get the value you're looking for.
And as you can see there, every time the ball would go in, like on the Mizuki, you would see at least one person full peel from them. Xion nanoed. Zarya goes down. On a low, goes down. Getting hard rushed as well, and that's a great nano. And the rest of Galaxia stuck in the top left as they force cart. They are going to try to force them out here. These are going down. Mizuki still up there, goes down, and that's going to be a cap with time still on the clock, which is big.
100%. Notably, they probably should have just held 3 onto the cart there. Those 2 in the back line not really going to be able to make a play regardless, and so now you've kind of gave yourself just a few seconds less. But overall, still a very solid push there from the side of Supernova.
But getting at least that 1 second on the clock guarantees that you'll have a fight to not just play just defense in that second round if possible.
100%. That's the most important second.
Yeah. And you gotta think with Galaxia being so good with the Tsar, maybe they want to go with the Tsar Reaper. And looking at their comp, are they really gonna go with the Cat Bastion? Not opting not to go with the Tsar. Going with Juno Cat Bastion with Reaper and Ball. If this is what's going on, I can't wait.
Juno, definitely not a traditional pick in these Cat Bastion comps. The Nano usually just so important. However, we don't have to deal with an opposing Cat Bastion here. So having just that overall speed, mobility, and the higher healing in general is going to be a little bit more useful.
Some people call Cat Bastion unethical Overwatch, but that doesn't mean OKC can't still win a chip. Cat Bastion engaging onto that height into Sin. Prosper going low. BT goes down, gets booped off the map. Cat Bastion does heal for a bit. Water Lily also going down. And you gotta think that's a very good first fight. Very good start for Fable Galaxia.
100%. Like we said, this comp just so good at playing for that engage, having those cycles.
With that ball mirror, we're gonna see a very interesting dive. And Sin swapping over to Sierra, maybe wanting to punish that Cat Bastion. All you need is one skill shot onto that cat, and that's a pick, hopefully. Truth going low, gets the Mega, but is alone. Water Lily going down to the cat ship. Young also going down, and you gotta think maybe you want a backline that can either be more mobile or is able to protect this Ano and Ryong a bit better.
Right. There's just not a lot that the Ana and Wuying are going to be able to do. Normally you would have your own opposing Cat Bastion here so that the cat itself would be fine, but the Ana would still have difficulties. With both these backline targets having a lot of issues here, it's just going to be really hard to get that sustain that you really need in order to win these fights.
You have mines plus both DPS. Well, Cat goes down early. Truth with a big referral though, and Frostbite going down. Zay going down. So again, even though Supernova gets the first pick, they do not win the fight. Gotta think maybe they would want to pop an ult quick after they got that first pick, but just a big referral. Cat Bastion looking for that engage. Mines at the same time, blocking them in the map, but Sin gets picks on both the catches.
What incredible play there by Sin. Gonna keep them in this point, this fight here.
Yeah, and you maybe hope with a little more of that indoor space towards the back, you're able to peel that to that a lot better against that Cat Bastion. And you do see the swap over to Zarya, as they don't think engaging with the ball will work as well on this point. We have 5 ults coming from the side of Supernova. That goes out, Nano goes out. Frostburn does pop the mines, then also pops the ult. Leon got Nano, wasn't able to get 2 picks. Juno going low. Goes low. Moves down, and that's gonna be a fight with for Supernova.
Right, both teams using both supportals there. That's going to be a little bit awkward.
Yeah. So they do swap off the Catchgen, but that does make it so BT has the only ults on the board. Maybe you play slow this fight and farm, hopefully another big Blossom. But if BT can play this fast with the Shion ult, it'll go a bit better. Reaper goes in, but immediately fades out. Paul engages. Can't quite hit the skill shot. Crossturn skills up back to the height. Goes low due to E0. Also going low. Truth getting close to that Death Blossom. Crossburn goes down early. So does Zando. BT pops the Shion ult, tries to find one, gets the Zarya. Goes down, both DPS down. As E0 and Mizuki back up. Shadow gets staggered too. Fortunately on the same respawn timer as the Reaper. But with this Reaper ult coming up, you gotta hope to farm Nano and Mines quick. At least have something to match this and the grab.
Right, 100%. That grab Blossom gonna be a deadly combo if they can't find an answer for it before they engage.
'87 to that grab. Looking for that Reaper ult, TP's in. Goes to Zay, gets them half. Two people die from Galaxia in the backline. BT going ham with Frostburn. And Grief goes down. Supernova has completely turned this point on its head. Having 4 ults now. In a round that looked really desperate for them.
Right, the swap away from the Cat Bastion here not doing any favors for the side of Galaxia. They were doing really solid, had a really good flip point, and now they're a little bit awkward.
Frostburn challenging the height here. Maybe he pops mines again like he has before. But no. Oh, Truth with a big Reaper on the backline, but gets traded out. Gets his 2 though. Supernova has to pop their ult here. Zay goes down, Mines go down, but does kick grab. And the Mizuki ult. Nano going on the Sin. Pops the ult. Makes it to point, but is it gonna be enough? No. And that's going to be the second round as we go into the overtime round.
Right, we saw a lot of interesting stuff happening there. Notably, there was a lot of different play on that third point with the support ultimates. We saw a lot of different things trying to happen there. Didn't see a lot of value. Notably, Zay trying to get the Wu Yang ult off and just barely getting picked by Elite Zero. That's probably what ended up capping the point for the side of Galaxia.
The wave jacks, just unfortunate to see. I know it all too well. Galaxia going back to that on a break backline that Supernova wasn't able to touch for a bit on this first point.
100%.
Zay swapping over to that BAP. You gotta think, with this double flex backline, will they be able to protect that Ana enough from the Hazard and Genji?
Right, that's going to be the main question here. We actually see Zay swap over to the Cat, so now it is going to be Supernova on the Cat Bastion here.
Color me surprised, I've never seen this out of them, and Zay goes down early. Famously, Soldier 76 got their only play in OWCS from an anti-Cat Bastion strat. So hopefully Truth is the truth for Galaxia here into this Cat Bastion. Frostburn really deep into their backlines, able to get out. We'll see if he can engage on the height. Tries to force off creep, goes on to Truth. Gets chunked to low HP again. BT BT going low, forced out by that hazard. And this is just an untouchable setup they have on this height. And that's a very good ante from Xanadu. Go put freaking E0 extend a bit too far after that ante. Truth getting low, but their Ana Brig is right there for them. He goes down, Zay going down. Frostburn getting low, but is able to kite out enough. Backline trying not to get staggered here. Shadow going low. Creep blocking him in, and that's going to be Frostburn going down. And if I'm on Galaxia here, they want to full apart, try to get as little as possible. Then on that Bastion, takes down the Brig. That was very close to rally. E0 going down. Truth popping the Nano Visor. And they do end up stopping Supernova.
Right, a good quick stop there, but notably not without getting that point, so they do have to clear it first. And we saw the Cat Bastion from the side of Supernova not getting too much value. They get a few picks here and there, but really not doing too much more other than forcing some CDs, which is really not what you want to see in that kind of composition. You want that to be the main source of that damage, of those kills.
And you gotta think, with that Cashin, the only reason they were able to win that point is because more of a misstep by Galaxia pushing too far into the room and getting unfortunately picked. But they are gonna try and catch them themselves, and Zay is on Weaver. We have a Weaver backline with the Domina, and this, I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen this comp before.
I have seen Beaver a few times, or Bap Weaver, I should say, if we're going to be correct. But the main specialty of this comp is going to be playing slow and taking a lot of chances. You can't take fights first in this composition. You're basically giving all of the angles, all of the tempo to your opponent in exchange for just raw survivability.
BT going low, does get chained, but is able to escape pretty easily. Gets the Reaper also down to half. Frostburn still holding this high ground against a Cashin, but BT goes down! Trying to stall out here. They are playing a 4v5 here. Frostburn drops on the point. Zay going down, Sin going down. E0 low, Lily going down. Frostburn, the last one left. He is going down as well, and you gotta hope BT can touch pretty soon here. They do make a couple of swaps, Tracer, Xion, Juno, and the Lucio. You gotta hope they're able to touch before they get the point there. Frostburn looking in. Deep path. Sin does get the touch off, but gets chained insta and goes down. Truth also going down, Mizuki getting low, gonna get picked by the ball. BT going low, Lily down. Frostburn still on the point. Same with Zay on Lucio. Zay, one shot, very close to death. Is able to hunker down the building, but they can't get the touch. And that is an unfortunate way to lose a great game, if you ask me.
100%. Super close game. Both teams playing incredibly solid. But I think the biggest play there right at the end was the cat ult from Shadow pulling Frostburn away from the point on the ball, really actually allowing that team to take the space that they needed. And that should even up the series here 1-1.
Yeah, and I said in the middle of that match, Cashin was unethical and they're playing like the 2025 OKC, and I do think they definitely succeeded there. Maybe Truth is secretly SGA in disguise, I don't know.
Well, we can find out in just a bit when we come back for map number 3.
Welcome, welcome. Map 3. Currently 2-0 Galaxia's favor. And you gotta think, what can Supernova do more? Who needs more help? What characters do they need to play in order to bring this back around?
100%. We see a couple interesting things here. Notably, we see the bands, Czar coming out from the side of Supernova, looking at Creep. Definitely want to do something there. And we see the Mizuki ban from Galaxia. Initially, I worry a little bit about it, right? We've seen Frostburn on that ball. We've seen him on that Diva. So it's a little puzzling to me, especially when the main person I've seen playing the Mizuki has been Shadow. But we see the ball comp here from the side of Galaxia themselves.
Yeah. And in truth, taking advantage of New Queen Street, in my opinion, the best soldier map in the game. And he's looking to poke out this Genji, poke out the Shion a lot more. Creep, half HP, gonna go snag the Mega. Frostburn trying to take space while he can. Elite Zero overextending and going down first. Truth goes into the room, but also gets picked. And that's gonna be a pretty clean first fight for Supernova.
Alright, 100%. Nice job there from them. Looking at the comps here a little bit, we do see some good targets for both of these tanks here. Frostburn gonna want to be looking for that Truth when he can. And similarly, that Alari gonna be a major goal from the side of Creep.
Yeah, but with the Alari, it's gonna help poke out before the dive a lot better. Shadow going down to Sin's Genji. Elite Zero, half HP, same as Xana. Creep trying to find an engage, but can't quite find anything.
Let's start the push.
And it's another fight win, as they have to fight back. What are Lily going low? The Alari down. Creep tried to find an engage at the ball. Just pick out Frostburn getting out of back and dying in baby form. And Galaxia bring this fight back pretty easily. Finn could get staggered here, although he does have dash back in a second. He is able to get out. Although I do love this swap from Sid going to that Genji. I feel like the backline has been kind of been able to run free to the side of Galaxia. Frostburn going low, does have remake though. Zay going down 90. At Curiel. And that's gonna be another fight for Galaxia. And can Supernova get a fight off before they take the lead as Galaxia pushes way far up into their spawn? Trying to find another pick.
Alright, 100%.
Do end up taking the lead.
This comp just playing a little awkward that Alari, while it's going to give that good poke, it's going to be susceptible to so much of that damage, especially with how aggressive this comp is from the side of Galaxia, but a really nice pick there.
Down Curiel and Mines down, and Visor. That is 3 ults from the side of Galaxia, but Water Lily gets 2 with half the stun. E0 going low, is able to get the pick. Going low. TP's over to that ball. Frostburn goes down, pops the remake, forces the ball out. Ball is half. Can they try to get that pick before ball is able to get out? No, but that is a fight win nonetheless, and that is a great turn of a fight from Supernova. Using one less ult, but still able to win that fight. Shion ult coming out. Both Shion ults coming down. Shadow ends up using the feet. Frostburn out of mech. Nano half. Curiel and Blade coming out. Jim getting that pick pretty early. Frostburn almost back to that remake. If he can get that, maybe he can turn the fight. But he is the only one left, so he is just forced to kite back. And he make it out without getting staggered, as well as BT. We'll see. Creep close to those mines, and you're wondering, if you use mines quick here, is there anything Supernova can do?
Right, you can't really do anything into it if you are Supernova, but we can't. That give you a bit more time to just look at those angles, try to get a little bit more developed. Maybe you take this fight. We see Frostburn falling low because they don't really have anywhere to engage, nowhere to really stand.
They also going down, as well as the rest of Supernova. Xanode in that backline, getting 2 picks, going down, but is able to, Truth is able to get that trade. And BT gets staggered in the backline. Galaxia is down a Kiri this fight, which could be big. Frostburn switching over to that ball, trying to match it. Maybe it'll make a bit easier to dive this soldier and that backline. Leon forcing that cart. Soldier's left on this other side. Shadow going down because he was left an anti. Truth low. And that's 3 picks. 3 early picks for Supernova. All going in here. Able to stagger E0. And
Right.
Creep also getting staggered.
Creep looking for something in the backline, maybe just hoping for a little bit of follow-up from somebody, but nobody able to make it over there, and that's just going to be a bit of a late death from in there.
Frostburn trying to find that engage. BT going low, able to kite out. Water Lily did make the swap over to Ana before last fight. Maybe that'll help. Coming up with a Nano Blade soon, maybe? Sin at that 96%. Frost going down. Does get forced out and goes down. An early pick for Galaxia.
I've got you in overdrive.
Truth popping visor to maybe push that advantage. Gets 2, gets 3, and gets 4 with that nano. Wow, what a fight from Truth. They don't call him the Truth for nothing. Then coming with that nano blade, baby can combine. Truth dies to probably his own torpedoes. Elite 0 getting low. BT goes down to the other Shion. After full shadow, Sin goes down. Stay low in the backline. On a close to that nano. Mine's going down. Is Frostburn able to match them? No, they go down. That's a Kitsune out. BT dead. Blade and the Kiri coming out as the last hope for Supernova. Deflect out, beat down. And that's gonna be the game. And a 3-0 sweep for Galaxia.
Right, 100%. There was some really interesting ideas there that they were trying to pull off. Water Lily on the Alari putting in some good work, but just getting hunted down by Creep, ending up making this just a little bit too uncomfortable to play and get all the value they needed from it.
Yeah. And although the scoreboard says 3-0, I do think the maps were, at least maybe not map 3, but map 2 and map 1 were fairly close. We had the Numbani that went 2 rounds and the 3 sub points on Oasis. So even though the scoreboard says 3-0, that was closer than it says.
100%. This is just a matter of those last few moments. Galaxia managing to come out on top, making some key decisions that work out, getting that exact pick that they needed. So still a very solid showing from both teams. It's just that little edge at the very end there that ends up getting it for Oasis in particular. There was a lot of good showings of fight wins and prep going into it from the side of Supernova. They just couldn't quite convert that last map. I believe they were at 99% as well. It was 99.99.
It is just unfortunate from Supernova.
100%. But regardless, very solid from both teams. And with that being said, we don't have anything more for you until 10 o'clock, where we will be streaming another fun match for you all. So we will see you then. Until then, have a good night.
Bye bye, everyone.